Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Earlier today, Aden Duale made some remarks on Ezra Chiloba. Duale alleges that the deep state plans on using Ezra Chiloba to rig this year's presidential election. So in this video, I want us to have a look at Aden Duale making those remarks, after which we'll just dissect them to see exactly what Aden Duale is actually saying. But in case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Let's have a look at Duale.
But we are telling Chiloba, you have been put there, we know you, and sooner or later, we are going to monitor, we will focus on you. You have not been taken to CA as an ordinary Director General. We know what you want to do on the polling day as far as the internet is concerned. We know the data you are collecting. And we know you're working for the deep state. And we will flag you and we will profile you, just like the way we profiled your other colleagues within the deep system.
Yes, that's Aden Duale earlier today. And listening to Aden Duale, Duale is admitting the existence of the deep state. William Ruto is on record denying the existence of the deep state. So that just exposes the hypocrisy, the lies and propaganda in Kenya Kwanza alliance. These are leaders full of propaganda, lies, and deceit. One leader saying something today, another one saying completely a different thing. But in this video, I want us to dig deep to see exactly what Aden Duale is actually saying. I fully agree with Aden Duale that we have a deep state in Kenya. And I honestly believe that in Kenyan elections, at least the past elections we have seen, it takes more than just votes from the people to win a presidential election. That one we saw in 2007, 2012, and also in 2017. So it is a fact that there exists a deep state, and a candidate favored by the deep state has the highest chance of being declared the winner. And also from past elections, we have seen that a situation where the presidential election is hotly contested, all that the competing candidates are almost equal in strength, then the deep state can easily influence the win towards their candidate. That one we have seen in the past presidential election. But if you look at this year's presidential election, I'm not seeing a hotly contested presidential election. I'm seeing one candidate clearly in the lead in this year's presidential election. And I'm seeing a situation where one candidate is most likely going to win this year's presidential election with a lot of ease. And I'm saying that based on the recent statistics and opinion polls that have been done by some reputable firms. I'm talking of research firms. I'm not talking of these things of the Star. I'm talking of research firms. And from the recent opinion polls that have been done by not only one firm, but by so many firms, are all indicating that Raila Amolo Odinga is beating William Ruto in 6 out of 8 provinces. Yes. And from the trends we are seeing from those opinion polls again, is that Raila Odinga is only but widening his lead over William Ruto as August election approaches. So in the next 3 or so months, I'm seeing Raila Amolo Odinga widening his lead over William Ruto. So in this year's election, I'm seeing one candidate in the name of Raila Amolo Odinga, easily beating William Ruto in terms of votes from the people, or rather from the ground. I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking of real votes from the ground, and statistics are showing clearly well Raila is beating William Ruto in this year's presidential election. So as much as Duale might actually be talking some sense, or rather of the existence of the deep state, I'm also seeing Aden Duale and a team in Kenya Kwanza Alliance sensing defeat. Already, they have seen how the trends are going, or rather moving, and they know in this year's election, most definitely, their candidate, William Ruto, will easily lose to Raila Amolo Odinga. So Duale and his team, they have just sensed defeat. And that's why Aden Duale is talking the way he's talking. And then secondly, Aden Duale and William Ruto and that team, they have been beneficiaries of rigged elections. What goes around actually comes around. And I honestly believe that in one way or the other, they might have been part of that rigging. So the process they used before, they are just scared that that process might actually be used against them. Yes. It's also possible that maybe there might be no plans to rig this year's election. But simply because Duale and his team, William Ruto and that team in Kenya Kwanza Alliance, in the previous presidential elections, they might have used some uncouth means to win power. They are just worried that the same means they used might just be used against them, and that's why Aden Duale is just complaining. And also from Aden Duale's remarks, I'm also seeing a team that is clearly confused. Just as I did state when he was starting, William Ruto saying one thing today, tomorrow William Ruto saying a different thing. Aden Duale is saying something today, tomorrow Aden Duale is saying completely a different thing. So I'm seeing a team that is clearly confused. A team that does not have a common agenda or common opinion on issues. I'm seeing a confused team. Each and every person just singing his own song. In fact, William Ruto is even on record saying he won't mind even if Oburu will be the chair of IEBC. This is something that Kenyans know. It's in public domain. So I don't expect William Ruto and his team to be complaining again of some plans by the deep state to rig this year's presidential election. Because William Ruto has told us that his vote can't be stolen. So he should actually keep quiet and make sure he thwarts any plan quietly, any plan or attempt to rig his election in this year's presidential election. But the mere fact that Duale is actually making a lot of noise in public indicates and shows clearly that they have no agenda or clue on how to stop any attempt of there may be votes being stolen. They are just issuing threats and scares. That's what I can see and make from those remarks by Aden Duale. And also, as I conclude, I honestly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that in this year's presidential election, I honestly believe that we are, for the very first time, we might find a candidate, or rather we might find a popular candidate and the system going in one direction. In the previous elections, since 2007, mostly we have been finding the popular candidate and the system in opposing camps. But in this year's election, without taking sides, I'm seeing a high possibility of a clear popular candidate and the system on one side. That's exactly what I'm seeing in this year's presidential election. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, in case you've bumped here and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like, And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana ye.